Thursday, my friends. I know it's been a while since you've seen this face because I've been pretty fixated on puppets, and that is within good reason, as Murkycorn would say. If you have not already checked out the new puppet show that Mercury and myself have put out, Dis-ClUte No One, definitely check out for free on YouTube. I am coming to make it up to you though, because I had absolutely one of the weirdest days of my entire life yesterday, and it came through with so many things that I found. Everything that I felt good about, I felt amazing about. Everything that I didn't feel good about in the moment, I found so much compassion and lessons and understanding that brought me so much peace with it. And so
it's a nice, cool.
I want to talk about why. Like as in why you do something, or why has something happened. And I'm really getting a new layer of understanding and having a total revelation around this right now. And streets of and in my life, what's happening is that I'm realizing how I used to fixate on why. Growing up, I was always a curious kid, and especially with things that I would be interested in or things that I would be challenged by or feel challenged by, I would get so agitated when I didn't know why. And of course now I have a clear understanding that humans are curious, that we create from curiosity, and questions are a part of how we gain knowledge and awareness and understanding. It's how we discern between choosing to do something or not, how we choose to be. And for many of us who are very purpose-driven, mission-driven individuals, which I believe I'm coming to the realization that really everyone has their why, regardless of whether they perceive that this is true for them, is coming down to this why. It's coming down to why having it motivate you, having it be what makes sense. And when we don't know what our purpose is, or we don't understand something, if we don't know why, then we can feel really insecure, scared, confused, and it can create anxiety and depression and feelings and perception of separation and tensing up, not being able to move forward, not taking inspired actions, not being authentic in yourself. And when we know what our why is, we get motivated and inspired, and we take action, and we become who it is we are destined to be. Things flow, they feel easier. And that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong if you haven't figured out your why. It just means as a human being, your alignment, your balance is going to be within your desire, and our desires come from our why. We all have different desires that come from our why. So what I'm realizing is understanding what you desire is one thing. Understanding what you desire means that you know what your why is. When you know what your why is, and you come into that space, you will be able to know exactly what your next move is. You will know exactly why you're doing something. You know that saying of knowing the reason why you get up in the morning, right? It's about loving what you do and realizing that loving who you are, that unconditional love, and loving what you do, they are part of your balance as a human being. They're part of you coming into balance, which is going to bring you the joy and the bliss and the abundance and the awareness. Now, here's another piece of this. So once you know what you desire and why you desire it, then you get to manifest that much more accurately and that much stronger. And I am not the first person to talk about this, the first person to realize this. Like right, we know of the universal laws. Many of my mentors and people who inspire me, my spiritual mother, Maggie Wilson, go check out pre-ordering her new book coming out next year. It's part of how I got here, how I'm getting there, and it's gonna be amazing. It's amazing. And coming into this new way of manifesting, I have found the proof within my life that I get things immediately once this all aligns. So I'll give you some examples and I'll tell you some of the steps, right? So number one, you need to become aware of your life, how you're feeling right now, what's happening in your life right now, how are things going in your life, how do you feel, so that you can discern between what it is that you desire and what it is that you don't desire. And once you become aware, step one, through that analysis process, then you can start to look at your why. Because looking at what you desire, deeper and deeper, peeling back the layers, the more honest you get, the more authentic you get, the more you get to know what your why is. And when you stop judging yourself for what your why is, right, it all becomes clear. Once you know why, then you can focus on how to become who you need to be, who you truly are, honoring who you truly are, and activating your gifts in order to bring this into reality for you, into what is true for you. Okay, so now you know what your desires are, and you know how things are. Now, what has your thought process been, right? If you're not manifesting what it is you desire, how have you been thinking about what it is that you desire? If you've been focusing on the things that are negative in your life and the things that you don't want, then that's what's going to be attracted for you. Again, universal laws, not the first person to talk about this. This is just me sharing with you my deeper understanding, and also because I don't believe that anybody can say this too much, because we really getting this is so key. It's so key, and we all deserve to get this and tap into this power, because we all have this power. So coming into a change in your thought process, making the decision, I'm now aware of what I don't want, what I want. So I'm going to change my thought process in order to align with what it is that I really want. So starting to actually talk about what it is that you want is not enough. It's about really internalizing what it is that you desire, and then declaring I want this, I will have this, and I am shifting my narrative and my belief system, therefore, in order to get it. Then, next step is, okay, great, I've changed my thought process, but perhaps it's not enough. Maybe things are still kind of almost. Like, I noticed that I started to almost have things that I wanted, and then something always happened, and so there was still this block. So then I realized that it was because when I was going to manifest things, even in my spells, I was getting closer with my spells, but I was still not fully getting there because I was not writing what my why was, I was writing what the result was. And this is when another layer of realization came to me, which is that there's a difference between what you desire and what you truly desire. And here's what I mean by this. I wanted to move back to New York, right? Because I was in an emergency situation. I missed being home. I realized that New York was calling to me. And the only way that I could make all of that happen at the time with what I was going through was that I needed $6,000. And I didn't actually realize at the time why I kept hearing from my guides that I needed to manifest $6,000 until all these things fell into place. And I realized that it was all to help me move back to New York and to make this particular New York trip happen. And so I started to fixate on the $6,000, but that was not working. That didn't get me the $6,000 because I was focused on the fact that I didn't have the $6,000, that I was scared, and that I needed to get out of my dangerous situation. So then I shifted, and I said, I'm going to shift my thought process around this. And I said, I belong in New York. I desire to be there because I miss XYZ people. I want to improve these and those relationships. I want to find a safe place to be of belonging. And I started to take actions in different ways in order to get there. And when I needed it, I got a client, and there was my $6,000. And I'm here in New York, am I not? So the why is what is needed to focus on. Because once you have your why and you focus there and you're following your heart, and then it's not about what you feel you need because you're afraid of something you don't have. It's not because you're lack. It's because of your love. It's because of what you desire to provide and receive. So, another example is once I started to get this, realize that this is what I was doing, and I started to have a deeper realization of how I was not doing this. Yesterday, partially helped to inspire breakthroughs for someone else that brought them abundance, but also helped to make other things possible. Remember how I started this video by saying that yesterday was one of the weirdest days of my life, and it was because it's pretty hard to shock me. I don't get shocked very often anymore. I can get excited, surprised, but I don't really get shocked. And I've got to tell you, yesterday so many things shocked me. And I got a call that I thought I was never gonna get. getting acknowledgement from something that I've wanted for a decade, and an opportunity to travel in a way that's deeply meaningful for me, in a way that is life-altering for me. And I had been manifesting this for a long time, but I was so focused on how upset I was and how hurt I was and what I didn't have. And then I started to focus on what I thought I desired, which was I want to travel and I want to hear this so that I could feel validated. That's not actually what I wanted. What I wanted was to be able to experience and to explore and to expand and grow and enjoy and have a deeper relationship with someone who I care about. And I wanted to be able to do this without anxiety or stress or anything, so that my cup could be full, so that way I could really be present and provide into those that I encounter. Because I know that I'm going to be doing a lot more traveling in my life, and I'm going to do so that I can go and be where I'm called to be, so that I can be of service and experience and expand, enjoy and grow. And the moment that I understood this why, and I started to think about it differently, and I started to take different actions, I even a couple days prior, I said to the universe, in prayer, if you want me to travel, if it's important for me to take on the tasks of the inspired actions I need to do in order to travel in the near future, like getting new identifications and passport and this and the other, I need proof of that. And then this is my proof. So remember that everything is a conversation. Remember that final step of knowing your why, and then, the final two steps of knowing your why and then taking it into your inspired action is what makes the difference. And you can do this in a number of different ways. It's really about what it aligns for you. When you love yourself unconditionally and you don't judge yourself for what you desire, and you get to your authentic why, and you take those inspired actions and you do so in a way that is true to yourself, and you believe that it's possible, it will happen. You've got to believe it. You've got to do and be and become and feel into this. And it's like, one of the most shocking things of yesterday is like that I'm even feeling like this is some major breakthrough, because even though it may not be conveyed in my words, and especially those of you who know me, you'd be like, well, Jamie, we already know this about you. Like, you've shown us the proof of how you've done these things. But it's like those who really, really know me and know what I've been focused on, know that you can feel into the fact that this feels different. It feels deeply different, this understanding. And it is different, and it is changing even just a little bit of how I go about this. And it's bringing results fast that are life-altering. Life-altering. So tell us down there, wherever you see this, what is your why? Let us know what your why is, so that we can help to manifest what it is your desire is within your why. But it's all about the why.